My name is Aubrey Brimmer. I am an anthropology major and a history minor, and I am from southern Vermont. My project was looking at how mythology is translated onto pottery, and specifically the vessel type plate or platter, because it is a universal size and canvas all across the ancient world.
Aubrey, what cultures are you studying?
The Greek culture and the Mayan culture, specifically from 500 to 600 BC in the Greek culture and 300 to 400 AD in the Mayan culture.
So who is this for? Is this like a fancy dinner party? A visiting dignitary comes and you want to present the right plate?
It really depends on the culture and the setting. So I looked at some of the Gorgon plates by the Gorgon painter, and with those were part of a dinner setting in Greek culture. So they'd be used and be covered in food, and then as you eat through the food and you get to the bottom, it's like, oh, look at this. It's a symbol that's supposed to be fear and like deter your enemies and everything, but it was used more as a surprise and kind of like a joke in that setting. But then also, in the Mayan culture particularly, you would not use decorated plates as your dinnerware. You would use them in sacred settings, in part of ceremonies, in part of burials.
Has what you've learned in this class, will it help you in a career as like an archaeologist?
When you're an anthropology major, you're being trained to look at all these different cultures, and so it's like everything that you are learning in an anthropology course will be very applicable to understanding and looking at the world around you and the people in the world around you, because that is what we do. I would love to go to a field school. I'd love to actually hopefully uncover some artifact and be able to actually look at it and analyze it and do my own research, or get to see an archaeologist really in their zone in a field school, because it has been really great working with Scott, our professor, one of the main archaeology professors in the department, but it'd be really interesting to see an archaeologist not in the classroom, but in the field.
My name's Ashley Bray. I am a senior wildlife biology student at UVM. So I've been working the past year with Fish and Game and with Dr. Rochelle Gould in the Rubenstein College. And we've been trying to decide how Vermonters feel about coyotes, and we're trying to split that up between urban and rural areas. The problem we've been having is trying to figure out what counties in Vermont are urban versus rural. And that's like just a little part of this, so we asked a few questions through a survey called the Vermonter Poll, distributed through UVM. So we asked, are you concerned about coyotes? Tried to split that up between rural and urban, and found that most people aren't concerned, which was great. And then we asked, if you are concerned, why are you concerned? And a majority of people said because of their pets, which is totally understandable. And then we asked, how do coyotes affect your recreation, beauty, and culture? So that's part of the Cultural Ecosystem Service framework that I'm using. So trying to decide how coyotes affect recreation, beauty, and culture in Vermont. And most people said they kind of don't know, or coyotes didn't really impact. But a lot of people said that coyotes enhance Vermont's beauty, which is really nice. So at the end, I'm hoping to kind of help Fish and Game figure out how to manage coyotes and see both sides of the arguments of being like, we should get rid of coyotes, you know, they're pests, they're killing deer, and then we should keep coyotes because they're just an animal that we should cherish and love.
And how do you feel about it, Ashley? After all this research, are you biased at all?
I'm actually trying really hard not to be. I mean, coyotes are beautiful. Inherently, I don't want to kill them because they're wildlife. But I do see the whole side of it, of them, you know, encroaching on our cities, taking pets, stuff like that. But I think we should kind of work more towards just living with them rather than trying to get rid of them. So I guess I'm more on like the activist side of it, but I totally understand the hunter side too.
I'm Will Corcoran. I studied how communities around the globe perceive big cat species. I basically conducted a systematic literature review on all the journal articles available related to 7 big cat species: lions, tigers, mountain lions, snow leopards, jaguars, and cheetahs. Basically just examining journal articles and trying to see how people around the globe perceive these big cats. It's basically a systematic literature review, but also a meta-analysis. We're taking the statistical data from all these articles and compiling it together to try and map it out. So that's what I have going on here for each species as well.
What did you learn?
So we're still in the process of conducting the research, but so far what we found is that 5 of the 7 big cat species generally people feel indifferent or slightly positive about. For 2 of the big cat species, tigers and mountain lions, people generally have positive perceptions. We also broke it down by type of individual people we're interviewing. So either herders, like livestock holders, and people we call as locals, as in non-herders. And we found that, as you may assume, herders, who are people that are often having their livestock attacked by these big cats, have less positive views because they're losing out on subsistence or their income and things like that. Whereas general locals, they have connections to the big cats in one way or another. They may have cultural significance to them. They might appreciate the ecotourism that the big cats bring. There's a plethora of reasons the people might like the species.
What class are you, Will?
Senior.
Senior, so
Yeah.
so this is it.
Yes. Yeah. One more month.
One more month.
Yeah.
Are you looking forward to graduation? Is this like this project is a culmination of your work here at UVM then?
Totally, yeah. I have loved this. This has been no doubt one of the most rewarding things I've ever done at school and in general. I'm excited to graduate. I'm still going to be in Burlington and stuff, and I'll be sad to not be on campus as much, but I'll be around my friends and everything, so it'll all be great, yeah.